Every single preview of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced so far says it runs flawless. No stutters, no lags, gorgeous waters, the whole thing. And I believe them because they played it on hardware Ubisoft handed them, not what you and I are actually gaming on. So before you get too hyped, let's talk about what nobody's tested yet. Quick recap, if you didn't catch my last video, I put Assassin's Creed Shadows through every RT setting on my 5060 laptop, 8GB VRAM, high settings, RT everywhere, DLSS, quality at 1080p, couldn't hold 60, bumped to 1440p balance, worse. Even medium settings throughout didn't lock 60, though it got a lot closer. And that's with an RT optional toggle. You could always just turn it down or say use the hideout only mode if you needed more frames. Well, Resynced doesn't give you that choice. RT is mandatory this time, no way around it. So if Shadows, which launched last year, was already this tight on an 8GB card with RT optimal, that's the real question going into Resynced. Now here's something worth pointing out directly. Every preview so far, it runs flawlessly, impressions. That was an optimal PC setup provided by Ubisoft in a control studio. One outlet flat out said they can't speculate on how it'd run on their own, and I quote, considerably shabbier PC. Now nobody's tested this on an RTX 5060 or a 5070 Ti laptop yet. That data just doesn't exist. And I'm not the only one thinking about this. I've already got comments on my Shadows video from people asking about BVH quality settings, VRAM management, frame gen with forced RT before the game's even out. People are worried about this for good reason. Okay, quick correction to how I framed this earlier. RT isn't just flat out forced at max everywhere. That is one good thing. Looking at the official system requirements, even the minimum and recommended presets list ray tracing standard. So there does seem to be some kind of quality slider or an optional toggle. What you can't do is turn it off completely. That's the actual mandatory part. On paper, my 5060 laptop should clear the recommended settings comfortably. But we all know publishers' recommended specs and real-world performance don't always line up. That's exactly the gap I want to test. And by the way, which publisher shows their game footage on recommended specs? We know for a fact that it's probably running on RTX 5090 system, right? Now what we do actually know, the ray tracing in Resynced is described as similar to what's in Shadows. Probably the same engine, same kind of light bouncing, same general approach. So Shadows isn't just a random comparison here. It's honestly the closest real proxy we've got right now. What we don't know yet is whether it's heavier or lighter per scene, and whether there's a lower quality tier that gets us real performance headroom on 8GB cards. Now actually, while digging further into this, I found something worth flagging directly. Some official looking specs breakdowns say ray tracing has an off option, alongside standard and extended tiers. Other sources state it's fully mandatory, no way to disable it at all. But remember, the actual Black Flag specs itself on Steam says there is no ray tracing off option, right? Now those two things can't be true at the same time. So there's genuine confusion right now about something as basic as whether RT can even be turned off or not. And if the info out there is this inconsistent before the launch, that's honestly part of the problem. We don't even have a clear, agreed upon picture of the settings menu yet, let alone real performance numbers. And one more thing, now Assassin's Creed Black Flag is verified on Steam Deck, which is actually really good for handheld owners. But also remember that I don't want to play at handheld settings on my laptop. So for handhelds it's good, but for laptops and desktops it's still not clear. Then there's DirectStorage. It's confirmed Resynced is one of the first Ubisoft titles to actually support it. On paper, it's the GPU decompressing assets directly instead of routing them through the CPU. So you get faster loading times, smoother streaming, yada yada yada. Ubisoft's even claiming fast travel between Havana, Nassau, and Kingston in under 2 seconds on an NVMe SSD. Well, we've all got NVMe SSDs, so we'll have to check that out, won't we? This all sounds great, but we've been here before. Just remember Forsaken and Horizon Forbidden West both shipped with DirectStorage implementation that was rough at launch. Stutter, inconsistent behavior, bad performance, not the clean win it's supposed to be. Nixies even avoided the DirectStorage API by forcing decompression onto the CPU directly because it saved FPS. But remember, the patch 1.5 disrupted the streaming pipeline, the CPU couldn't unpack files fast enough, and massive stutters started happening when camera pans and all that were going on in Forbidden West. And as usual, the PC modding community had to step in and actually remove the entire dstorage.dll and fix the game. That's how Forbidden West was fixed. And if you were to talk about Forsaken, it's not even fixed till now, I think. DirectStorage 1.1 was what they used, I think, and that was probably the first game to use it. While loading was instant in that game, forcing the GPU to unpack files while rendering heavy gameplay completely tanked the frame rates. I think it tanked by around 10 to 15%. So these are the examples that we have of DirectStorage. I know there is Forza Motorsports also, but that's a racing game, so it'll genuinely perform a bit better than these examples, right? So it's not like DirectStorage is automatically good just because it's newer tech. It's got a mixed track record, and Resynced leaning on it heavily puts a lot of weight on it actually working properly this time. So here's where I'm at. No early access, no review codes, just like most of you. But I'm not walking into this blind either. I've been replaying the original Black Flag to get my bearings back, and the second this thing launches, I'm testing exactly this stuff: RT cost, VRAM behavior, whether DirectStorage holds up. Full benchmarks coming as close to launch as I can manage, so subscribe. If you're on an 8GB card too, this is exactly the video you'll want to see.